There's a question that comes up in almost every first meeting we have with successful families. How do we actually protect what we've built without sitting in cash or giving up all our growth? Because deep down, most people aren't afraid of market volatility. They're actually afraid of watching decades of progress slowly unwind and realizing too late that their plan wasn't built for it. My name is Chris McClure, and after 30 years of helping business owners and retirees navigate exactly this moment, the families who actually sleep best at night aren't the ones with the most aggressive portfolios or the most conservative ones either. They're the ones whose money is organized in a way that gives them confidence that no matter what the markets are doing, they're going to be okay. James and Renee came to us after selling their business. They had $7.3 million across investment accounts, and their first instinct was to go ultra conservative. Let's put it all in cash. We can't lose this, Renee said. This is it. This is all the money we're going to get. And that's totally understandable. But when we looked at their actual goals, they needed $250,000 a year in income. They needed to keep up with inflation, and they wanted to leave a legacy for their kids. So 4% bonds weren't going to cut it. They actually needed growth, but not the kind that comes with sleepless nights and 30% drawdowns. We split their money into 3 parts based on what each piece needed to do. The first layer of income was $1.5 million went into a steady income fund. High-grade bonds, CDs, safe, predictable income paying around 4 or 5% a year or so. Their near-term income was locked in, regardless of headlines, regardless of market chaos. Next, we positioned around $4 million or so for long-term growth. In this, it was quality stock funds, some international funds, and index funds for broad market participation. This really helped with building wealth and making sure they kept up with inflation. And the final $2 million, well, that was left in real growth assets because that was the money that they wanted to leave to their kids and they wanted to leave to their grandkids. So that went into real estate. It went into investment trusts for kids and grandkids. It also gave them a bit of commodities exposure and different opportunities that they had as a business owner. 6 months later, James told me something that really captures why I think this works. Chris, I don't even check the markets anymore. Our income is steady, but what really changed is how we feel about money. I'm not worried anymore. I can actually book that trip to New Zealand. Having investments is one thing, and having a coordinated plan is completely different. Doug was another client. He was actually a retired tech executive with about 9 million. And he'd been through 2000, he'd been through 2008, and he'd been through 2022. He wasn't looking to beat the market anymore. He says, I just don't want to watch half my net worth vanish again, he said. I'm tired of feeling like I'm gambling with my family's future. So we worked with him to build something different, not super complicated, just organized. We made sure he had 2 years of expenses in the safe money. We spread his growth investments across different sectors and different geographies. And we added some real estate that could hold value during market storms. Then we asked him some hard questions. Questions like, what if inflation stays high for years? What if the market drops 40% right when he retires? What if interest rates keep bouncing around? The answer is his portfolio could handle every one of these scenarios without him needing to panic. Doug's reaction after we walked through this, he says, this is the first time in 20 years I haven't watched CNBC. I finally enjoy being wealthy instead of worrying. You see, that's the shift. That's the shift from protecting wealth to enjoying wealth. The folks that I work with that worry the least about their money aren't always the ones with the most of it. They're the ones whose portfolios match their actual lives, not just some generic risk score. Some need consistent income replacement. Some want to transfer wealth across the generations. They want to take care of their kids and grandkids. And others want the flexibility to fund family experiences, like cruises or special trips, without wondering what the market did that day. It's really like having 3 different tools for 3 different jobs, instead of using a hammer for every single one. If you're in that stage where preserving what you've built matters just as much as growing it, there's a link below that you can actually schedule a call. You'll walk away with real insight based on your situation. Please feel free to ask any questions in the comments, or feel free to subscribe. I really do love making these videos, and I hope you join me on the next one.